then I've not seen him. So, of course, it's a pleasure seeing you again this morning, Prof. And thank you all so much for coming. So please give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. To get this started, let me quickly invite the Executive Director for Solidaire Ghana, Mr. Daniel Blaze, and to welcome us properly and tell us why we are all gathered here this morning. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a pivotal moment in the history of legal education in this country. For over 6 decades, under the current Legal Profession Act, we have wondered and continuously asked ourselves questions as to where should be the next chapter in respect of legal education. Inspired by bold reforms from the Attorney General, today we'll get to know what those issues in respect of the reforms proposal that has been tabled before Cabinet and possibly the Parliament of Ghana for passage. So, ladies and gentlemen, my address will be very brief as stipulated ab initio. So as we engage ourselves today, let's all come out, let's speak to what the issues are, let's bring down our proposals, and let's interrogate same exclusively. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are welcome to this landmark program. Let's enjoy the deliberations and let these deliberations serve as a platform for future deliberations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel Blaze. And then he says, let's enjoy the deliberations and let the deliberations would have here serve as a platform for future deliberations. We can only continue to build upon what has already started. I'm sure this is not the first time conversations of this nature have come up. And so I'm sure that we'll continue to have these conversations no matter how many times we reform. We're a continuing society. We don't stay at one place. And so as time goes on, it's important that reforms happen. And so for some of us, we are glad that this conversation is happening. And maybe it's time to go and look for the law school application forms to buy. The way you guys are smiling, it's like you guys, yeah, like this guy doesn't know. Do you think I should take the step now? Prof, should I come? Charlie, Prof has three. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Wezo TV. We are also live on Graphic Online. And so if you're not here in the auditorium with us, that's where you can catch us. You can tell your friends who are not here to watch us live on Wezo TV or on Graphic Online. At this juncture, I'd like to invite the chairman of the board of Solidaire, Mr. Ibrahim Baidu, to share a few words with us. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Yes, I've just been asked to share some few words with regards to this program. And what I'm going to talk about is simply the transition of Solidaire Governance Forum. Most of you here, and especially the profs, Raymond Atuba and Prof. Atupare have been part of this journey for so many years, and today we are here again. We are transitioning because in life it gets to a certain point where you will have to give way to the young ones to take over. And giving way does not mean that we are leaving them to just go. We still do the background and we still do the backup support for the young ones. Solidaire has been in existence for some years now. We've had several forums that cut across the thematic areas that runs governance architecture in this country. But today it's about legal reforms. And I want to take this opportunity to usher in our new team of management, which is led by Blaise Annan, who just left the podium. And we want to say that as you are here, this is going to be an interactive session. And so please just be here. If I say be here, I mean that bring your minds here so that all of us can enjoy this program. And so if you don't see us at the forefront, what it means is that we have given our mantle to the team of Blaise, Annan, and Co. And so it is same solidaire. And so God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, board. Oops. Okay, thank you. And that's the board chair of Solidaire Ghana, Mr. Ibrahim Baidu. Let me quickly acknowledge, ladies and gentlemen, some of the institutions that we have joining us here today. The National Union of Ghana Students, NUGS, if you're here. Who's a NUGS rep with us here? Okay, he's right at the back there. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you for coming. The Ghana School of Law, we also have some reps from Ghana School of Law here. If you're here, please wave at us so we can give you a round of applause. Ghana School of Law, nobody? Okay, they're here. Let's give them a round of applause. Charlie, me, I wish I was in your shoes, the way I would raise my hand. We also have the University of Ghana Law School. University of Ghana Law School, great. Wisconsin University, yes, they are here in the front. Let's give them a round of applause, please. We also have Zenith University. Zenith University, round of applause for Zenith University. Mount Crest University. Mount Crest is also here, round of applause, ladies and gents. The Law Lab. The Law Lab. Oh, he stepped out. Okay, so even in their absence, round of applause for the Law Lab, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Then we also have Legal Green. Legal Green. Oh, round of applause for Legal Green. Thank you very much, Legal Green. Yeah, so there's one part of the program that we have to do now. So I'm glad that I have this particular list of some of the institutions that have joined us. We'd like to take your opinions, even before the keynote and the panel. Yeah, so I'll mention, we give you an opportunity, the stage is yours. Come and share with us what you expect to see as far as legal education is concerned. What new things you want to see? What reforms do you look forward to being made to legal education in Ghana? You can volunteer, and if in about 10 seconds I don't hear from anybody, I'll start mentioning the names of the schools. And the good thing is that I know where you are seated now. So I mention your name, and then we bring the microphone to you. So who's going to start? Who's going to volunteer? Is it Ghana School of Law? Yeah, because you are seniors, you're already inside. So it'll be like you for start. So who's coming from Ghana School of Law? Share with us. Something brief. What reforms are you looking forward to seeing? All right, I'll come to you. The lady, okay.
Okay, my name is Imerentiana Webunga Latinga. I'm a student from the Ghana School of Law. And so some of the reforms that I intend or expect to see, over the years we have realized that the legal education or the legal profession has been limited or restricted to a particular number of people, and there has been a lot of issues and a lot of criticisms about that. And so we expect to see, or I expect to see, that we would open it and allow a lot of people to be able to pursue the law, as we see that in every aspect of our lives, the law is mandatory. And also I expect to see that in as much as we are opening this gates to accommodate a lot of people, we should put in some restrictions so that it doesn't seem like everyone is going to read law and everyone is coming out to be a lawyer. We have to see that you really need to, you really qualify to be a lawyer before you can be called to the bar. And I don't know how we are going to put in these measures to be able to restrict or do this, but I really trust in the Office of the Attorney General and the Ministry of Justice, and I really know they are going to put up very good reforms that is going to transform the legal education to be very beautiful and maintain the prestige with which it comes with. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Ghana School of Law, you've done your part. Who is coming up next? She's laid the foundation, so somebody should just take it up. I mean, for lawyers, English is not a problem. Confidence is not a problem. Being able to think on your feet is also not a problem. So what's holding you back? At this point, it'd be like, Wisconsin, where's Wisconsin? Wisconsin is here. Okay. A round of applause for Wisconsin.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Priscilla Sefakode Tutu, a student of Wisconsin University. So the reform I wish to see is a smooth entry into the law school, because as law students at the faculty level, one of our challenge and something we always think about is how we are going to pass the entrance exam to get into the law school. So if this initiative is being brought forth, I think it's a good one, and we hope to see a smooth entry into the law school. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wisconsin University. Zenith University is also here, right? Oh, you want? Great. Oh, round of applause. They volunteered. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kingsley Otuamponsa from the University of Ghana School of Law. To start with, I would say growth is good. Growth may not be easy, but growth is good. And of course, growth comes with change. We are excited about the many changes that are coming, and we are excited to see the many developments that are coming up. One thing I am looking forward to particularly is the problem of lack of infrastructure for the law school. It seems as though it's maybe one of the reasons why my colleagues here have been saying that it's hard to get into the School of Law, because they actually lack infrastructure. And this new development coming up is going to really solve that problem and give a chance for more people to pursue legal education and pursue their dreams of becoming a lawyer. Yeah, thank you.
Infrastructure. I'm glad that the acting director is here, so I'm sure he's taking some notes he would carry with him. Mount Crest. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Emmanuel Odonko from Mount Crest, as he said, the Vice SRC President. So some of my concerns may be addressed by the presentation, so they may be premature, so please pardon me. I have had discussions, issues about this reform, and I recall hearing the Attorney General say that the professional course is going to be restricted to 4 main courses. That's civil procedure, criminal, evidence, and then I think advocacy and ethics. So my concern is, if we are reforming legal education, why are we restricting the courses? If it has to be done, why the rush, for lack of a better word? If we want to give everyone access, is it that we are in a hurry to train lawyers? If they are the main programs used in practice, the other ones are also not auxiliary, if I should put it that way. So why are we limiting it to 1 year? Then also the issue of supervision of the various schools that are going to be accredited. If some schools are going to be accredited to the exclusion of others, how long is it going to take to put all these structures in place so that if it has to be done, it has to be done progressively? We shouldn't rush it, because from what I gleaned from what the Attorney General said, those in final year now are not going to write the entrance exam next year. So that we have to take our time and then put all the structures and the resources in place before implementing it, so that we wouldn't find problems in search of a solution. Thank you.
Round of applause for the Vice President, ladies and gentlemen, Mount Crest University. The Law Lab. Is the Law Lab back? Not yet. Legal Green. Legal Green, you're born same mamu. As you know, Charlie. That's right.
Thank you so much. One thing I want to say is similar to the point that he raised. And so I believe that with the entrance exam, we had the opportunity to review or revise some of the things that we had learned from first year to third year. Now, our lecturers, or some of my lecturers, tell me that when the fundamentals are weak, practice will expose you. If we are going to open these reforms and limit it to these four courses, it means that in some way, one way or the other, we might be lacking fundamentals. Why am I saying this? This is because even when you are in the fourth year of your LLB days, you have to go back to read what you learned in the first year because you have forgotten. Now, we are saying that everyone should come to the Ghana School of Law, come for legal education. We are talking about people who might have completed LLB for over 5 years, over 10 years, and so they might have forgotten their Ghana legal systems, they might have forgotten their law of contract, they might have forgotten a lot of other things. And so I think we should try to figure in or bring in some of those fundamental courses which we need in our practice, because if we lack those, then where are we headed? Also, I want to make a point that we should, in as much as we are trying to decentralize the course so that other universities can practice the professional law course, I think we should accredit certain universities or certain institutions so that we have, like, for instance, we have KNUST doing the professional, we have University of Ghana doing the professional, we have University of Cape Coast, so that it's not, we still maintain that quality that comes with it. Because there are other law faculties that practice or that teach the normal professional, the Bachelor of Laws, but then would we still get that quality, that professionalism that we want to accompany when it comes to the Ghana School of Law? Think about it. It will not be the same. It cannot be the same. So let's be selective. Let's accredit certain universities so that they can practice this, they can teach us, and then we can grow and make it the legal profession. Thank you.
Charlie, when I grow up, I want to be like you. Anybody else wants to share? Anybody else wants to add something to? Yes. Round of applause for her. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Rachel, and first off, I'm not a law student, I'm an engineering student. Right? And as an engineering student who's looking into a career path in medical law, I feel like in as much as we're looking at a legal education for the lawyers, we should also be interested in the interdisciplinary area of it. Because we would agree that most lawyers get works when other professionals get into trouble, right? And we can't always be waiting for them to get into trouble before you step in to help us. So I think we should focus more on educating other non-law students like engineers and scientists as well. So I'm looking at how the reform will tackle that, because with rapid technological changes, right, with advancing AI and all those things, how does the legal education address these needs? Because lawyers are taught to apply the existing laws to situations. And so what happens when these laws you are taught do not apply to something that is new to the environment? So I feel like you should also take into account how to cover situations that may arise with rapid technological changes. So that's what I look forward to today.
Yes, okay, he wants to share. Yes, sir.
Okay, so my name is Nana Kofi Ankobia Ayi. I'm also a student of the Ghana School of Law, and I share the sentiments that my sister has as to the expansion of the legal education to allow more people to come to the law school. But I believe that in as much as we are allowing we are expanding legal education, we should still try and maintain the professional standard of the legal profession, such that we ensure that we are producing the best quality lawyers that we can. So that is the little that I have to share.
I mean, this is where the conversation gets interesting, because one question I may want to ask is that when we produce lawyers, you know, in more numbers, does it mean we are going to lose the standards? Is that what you're assuming? That when you have more lawyers, the standards will drop? Okay, so what are you saying? I'll come to you. It just gets interesting from this point.
So what I'm saying is that in as much as we are expanding the law school, we still have professional standards that we have to maintain as a profession, so that when the lawyers come out, we are the best that we can be. Yeah.
I had a follow-up, but it's okay. I don't want to stir controversy. Let me come to you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. My name is Najoko Kone. I'm from the University of Ghana School of Law. All I want to say is one of the key reforms over here that is being pushed by this development that I'm excited about is the decentralized system, where we have like a university-led approach where there's diversity. We have different universities rolling out the professional course in order to produce more lawyers. I don't believe we have to limit it to certain universities, because as it stands now, I don't think there's like an LLB degree from one university that's stronger than the other. On the surface of it, I don't think that is what it is. So I don't believe we saying that it should be limited to certain universities to maintain a professional standard is fair, because we are all of, you know, the same standard and all of that. And luckily for us, there are other countries that are already practicing this system of bringing out or bringing about legal practitioners and stuff like that. We have the likes of Nigeria, Canada, the UK, so we can look at the system they are running and learn from it and also implement it in our own way. So I don't think it would be fair to limit it to certain universities.
The lady from University of Ghana says it will not be fair to limit it to particular universities. Any more concerns? Anybody wants to share something else? We have the floor now. I want all of us to speak before our resource persons take their seats up there. So keep sharing. Nobody else? Looks like you have something to say. Share. You look like it. He's keeping it. Let it out.
Okay, so my name is Goodness Enam. I'm actually not in the law field, I'm in the procurement field. So this is what I've noticed in a movie I watched actually, so I don't know if actually it's in existence in Ghana, but that has to do with suits. There's this guy, Mike Ross, who was actually left the main law firm and went to practice in a pro bono clinic. With that, what I noticed from the movie was that it actually enhanced his ability to actually do the law he was doing. My point here is, at the end, it makes it easier for him to understand the law and how to do the practice. So in Ghana here, I don't know if it's in existence. So it's a reform I can say. They can suggest that the clinical aspect of the law, where pro bono cases can be given to students whilst they are in school, they can be doing those kind of practical works with pro bono works and all those things. That has to do with the law clinic. So I don't know if it's in Ghana. I don't know if it's there. That's what I'm also suggesting.
Is it in Ghana? Yes. Okay, so please respond.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Elvira Pearl Derry. I'm a lawyer. So responding to your question about the legal clinic, I think it's usually university-based. So, for instance, with the UPSA Law School, there is a legal clinic program where we actually have people who can't afford legal services coming to seek for free legal services from the clinic. And we also have the legal clinic as a course for the students to do. So they do draftings, they learn how to approach cases, client management, and clients' cases. So I feel that should be done at the university level. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Introduce yourself and you share with us.
My name is Godfred Edwardre. I'm not also a lawyer or a law student, but I'm an AI enthusiast, and over the past, let's say 9 months, I've observed and seen that there was a case of a guy presenting an AI as a lawyer, and the objections that the judge gave, and all that. Some people are having the thoughts that probably AI could replace them, or AI could get involved in the legal space. As someone also looking to learn about law, how are they going to what do you call it? There's an influx of people using AI tools in their learning journey, which would in a way might not be able to help them to learn effectively if they do not use it well. So how probably in the reformation journey they will look at how they are controlling the use of AI when it comes to legal education.
Thank you. Yes, who else? Anybody else wants to share? The floor is open. Because I'll soon get into full, blown panel mode. You see the stage is set. So in no time the panel would, yes sir.
Please, I want to add on the issue of the accreditation. I also heard the Deputy Attorney General say that it's going to be done by selecting carefully some institutions. So if some faculties will not be allowed to do the professional, had they not better have supervised the other ones to do the professional? Because at the end of the day, they are going to come back to the various faculties that you are supervising. So that if, for instance, let me use School A. School A is doing the LLB, and then School B is accredited to do the professional. After A is done, A is still going to come back to B. How will A be admitted to B? Are they going to write entrance exams? So these are all questions that I want I'm expecting the presentation to address. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Right, thank you very much. So I'm Kingsley Osamponsa from University of Ghana School of Law. I'm the Vice President of the LSU. And to reply to what my sister said, yes, I agree to the most part regarding limiting the courses to just the call for. I agree for the most part for her reasoning that, yes, you may forget. Yes, there are some things you may not remember. But from what I've learned, from the little I have learned, a good lawyer is not one that knows all the law. But a good lawyer is one that knows where to find the law. And it's human to forget. Laws change. You get it? So it's only natural that you'd expect that when you forget, you go back and revise. And I think with most lawyers and with their practice in the law, because they've practiced for a number of years, because they've handled the law for a number of years, it's easier for them to recall these things. So I don't particularly think it will be a problem limiting the subjects to just the 4 professional ones. But I would also like to hear the views that the Attorney General had in mind when these reforms came up. Yeah, thank you.
Great, thank you. Looks like Attorney General, everybody wants to hear him today. I mean, his deputy will be with us anyway. We're just waiting for him to arrive. Any more concerns? Any more? You want to share something else? You're sure? You want to share? Are you sure? You're just nodding your head and agreeing with what everybody says. Any more? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are also live on TV XYZ. We're live on Wazo TV, and we're live on Graphic Online. I'm going to invite my panel to join us on stage, but even before that, let me quickly go through their bios so we know the people we are dealing with today. We just didn't go and mobilize people in the market, to come and sit down and talk to us. They were carefully selected to be on the panel. So let me start first of all with my very good friend and brother. He's Benjamin Alpha Edu Esquire. It's because he's a newly qualified lawyer at the Ghana Bar, undertaking his pupillage with the law firm Ayine and Partners in Accra. And prior to becoming a lawyer, Alpha had been a communications professional for close to a decade, with a particular forte in strategy development, media relations, corporate editorial services, and brands management. In his role as a communications professional, he has provided diverse communications-related services for local and multinational brands spanning the maritime, agro-processing, manufacturing, and hospitality sectors. Alpha took his LLB education at the University of Ghana as a post-first degree law student, where he was a moot court and legal writing enthusiast. He led the founding of one of University of Ghana School of Law's leading student firm, Lex Apex Associate, and won the law school's moot court competition with the firm in 2022, emerging with the Best Oralist and Best Memorial Awards. Later that year, he also won the maiden edition of the Federation of African Law Student Moot Court Competition in Johannesburg, South Africa. He was also involved in several moot court programs and research initiatives at the School of Law, at the University of Ghana School of Law. Now, while undertaking professional legal education at the Ghana School of Law, he got the opportunity to intern with Ayine and Partners law firm in Accra, and later with the High Court General Jurisdiction 12 under the supervision of His Lordship Justice Aite Amatete, now of the Court of Appeal. Alpha, is it a thing with lawyers? You like writing, my friend? But Alpha is also a past student leader, having held different portfolios with the UNIMAC IJSRC, Ghana Union of Professional Students GAPS, National Union of Ghana Student NUCS, All Africa Students Union ASU. Alpha loves debate, public speaking, teaching, and advocacy. In his capacity as a newly called lawyer who has just passed through legal education in Ghana, his perspectives will be invaluable to the discourse on transforming Ghana's legal education system. So let's give Alpha a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Please take one of the seats. Thank you. We also have, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Francisca Kusi Apia. And she is the Vice Dean of the UPSA Law School, and she holds a PhD from the Center for Energy, Petroleum and Mineral Law and Policy, University of Dundee, Scotland, UK. In addition to a master's degree with specialization in energy, environment, and natural resources law from the University of Houston, Texas. Before joining academia, Dr. Kusi Apia had extensive experience working with law firms in Ghana and the United States as a qualified lawyer, and maintains an interest in using the law to advance sustainability and social causes. She maintains an active practice through legal consultancy. Among the range of courses taught over the years, Dr. Kusi Apia teaches energy law and the law of torts. Dr. Kusi Apia has written widely on different areas of law, such as escaping the resource curse, a decade of petroleum exploration in Ghana, and implications of competition law, enforcement in the electricity sector, comparative analysis of the UK and the US. With a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Francisca Kusi Apia. We also have joining us Professor Peter Atudiwe Atopare, and he's a former Dean of the Faculty of Law, University of Cape Coast, and he is currently the Dean of the University of Ghana School of Law. His research interests are in the areas of constitutional law, jurisprudence, law of torts, conflicts of law, human rights, social-legal studies, law and society, administrative law, and health law and ethics. He's a respected member of public law in Ghana, Nigeria, and across the globe, especially in the areas of constitutional theory and human rights. He's one of the youngest prolific writers in the School of Law, University of Ghana. He has over 40 main publications, including 4 books. His books and book chapters are published with reputable international publishers such as University of Cambridge Press, LexisNexis, Routledge, Wiley, Simmons and Hill, and Juta, and Company Limited. His journals are published, among others, in Harvard Human Rights Journal, International Journal of Human Rights and Constitutional Studies, International Journal of Public Law and Policy, Journal of Law, Policy and Globalization, Journal of Comparative Law in Ghana, African Human Rights Law Journal, Journal of Sustainable Development in Africa, and Journal of Politics and Law, and in other top journals in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Professor Peter Atuduwe Atopare. If I have a court case and this one is my lawyer, how can I feel? Okay, final one. This man needs no introduction. And I'm trying to pull out his bio. Just give me a second. Let me pull out the bio. It's important that I read the bio in full. Hey, Blaze, did you send me that one? But I'll find it. Just a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next panel member, of course, is a graduate. He's a professor at the School of Law, where he's taught since 2002. He's also been a visiting professor of law and Harry J. Stenner visiting professor of human rights at Harvard Law School from 2018 to 2019. He's taught over 40 related courses at several universities in Africa, Europe, and the United States of America, Canada, and Australia. His research interests are in constitutional and administrative law in the South, law and development in Africa, and human rights and community lawyering. He's a graduate of the University of Ghana and of Harvard Law School, where he obtained a Master of Laws degree and did editorial studies. He's also worked in the public sector, and one time he was Executive Secretary to the President of the Republic of Ghana. In the private sector, he was the Team Leader of Law and Development Associate and Managing Partner of Atuguba and Associate, and the non-profit sector, he's a co-founder and former Executive Director and former Board Chair of Legal Resources Center. He's consulted for many African governments, the Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Lesotho, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Uganda, Zimbabwe, and many others, and also consulted for many major international development agencies and NGOs. It's a tall list. If I start, we won't finish. He's led and co-led over 50 training programs and workshops, and he's also chaired or sat on over 75 boards and committees, national and international. His areas of expertise: constitutional and administrative law in Africa, policy law and development in the global south, human rights and community organizing. As for the books, baby, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Professor Raymond Atuguba. Okay, I guess I can get to sit in the middle. All right, thank you very much. Maybe I should start with Alpha. Let me start with you, if we can get the microphone to Alpha. He's the baby last on the seat. Is it working? Okay, great. Awesome. Thank you very much. So let me even first start with what you make of all of the conversations that we had. So, with some comments of our audience, participants, what do you know of the comments they made, the opinions they shared, before we even get into the main conversations to why we're here. So let's start with that.
Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone. It's an honor to be in the midst of this esteemed panel, and I recognize and acknowledge my professors who taught me at the University of Ghana and whose scholarship would continue to guide my practice, Professor Atupare and Professor Raymond Atuguba, and also the Vice Dean from UPSA.
Karim, the discussion that took place before we started this panel discussion, or before we were empaneled, just tells me that there is a consensus, a groundswell of opinion that we have come to where we need to reform. I think that bottom is to legal education that needs to be changed. What I gathered from the discussion, a little bit of disagreement with how we must go about it, and that is why a forum like this is important, so that we can continue to have the conversations and refine the policy proposals or the reforms that have been tabled in order to get the legal, policy, and institutional arrangements that will get us the kind of lawyers that we should produce for the future of Ghana. So that's what I basically gathered from the interaction so far. Reforms are necessary, and of course reforms are necessary because first, we have had the operation of the legal profession. I mean, people were not even clamoring for law. There's been advancement in technology. There's been demand for legal education well beyond what the famous or the people that put together the Legal Profession Act could have envisaged. And that Legal Profession Act provided for a bifurcated model, okay, a distinction between academic and professional training, which was obviously inherited from the British system. It was a recommendation from a committee put together by the Lord Chancellor of England to inquire into African education, led by Lord Denning, who suggested that an African having a degree, a law degree from an African university is not enough to practice law, and that he must also enroll to have professional training for a year. So we have operated this model for a while now, and the result of this model is the production of a corps of lawyers that focus on rote learning of rules, legal principles, and cases more than the tools of logic, critical thinking, negotiation, problem solving that legal practitioners are supposed to do. And the result is also that we focus or we center litigation as the objective of our legal system rather than a failure of it, so that every lawyer is trained to serve the expectations and the needs of the judiciary, rather than we seeing our lawyering and our role as transformative tools for the socio-economic, legal, and political advancement of our country. So all of these shortfalls calls for reforms. Now, what these reforms must be is why we are here. And before I would end, I think that a rational point to begin this discussion is to first ask ourselves, what is the kind of lawyers we want to produce? What are the kind of lawyers Ghana need? And then we'll go to the second stage by discussing what are the legal, policy, and institutional rearrangements that we can do to achieve the aim of producing the kind of lawyers that we need.
All right, thank you very much, Benjamin Alpha. I'll come to you next.
Okay. Greetings to everyone. Even though I am invited here in my personal right, I think it is fitting for me to extend to you warmest greetings from the University of Ghana School of Law, where I serve as the Dean. To the context, and this context is being provided by the views that I have just heard, or the views that have just been shared. Now, what I gather from the views shared as a preliminary matter is that if there is this urge that the space at the LLB level be expanded because of the need for legal education in this country, then there's a corresponding urge not to shrink the space at the professional level. If that is the context, or that is the overall thesis, the question that this begs is, what is the quality of training that we have to attach to. So it's not just about the need to increase or open up the space at both levels. It's also about the quality that we must maintain at both levels. And I'm thinking that the reforms will not just be reforms of inputs and numbers, but it will be reforms about corresponding quality from the LLB level to the professional level. Then the second point I pick from the views is that the quality of justice and governance in the country is a comprehensive functionality of the quality of law of that republic. If that is being the case, then the question is, what legal training are we going to give to people in order to enhance that quality of law, that will enhance the quality of justice and governance in the republic? So we are not just going to be talking about legal education in a contextless manner. We are concerned about governance, we are concerned about justice, so we are concerned about the quality of law. And this quality of law can only be dealt with at a training level. This is where legal education is important. And in that context, questions will be asked. What is the content at the substantive level? And what is the content at the professional level? At the professional level, are we just dealing with a continuation of what is being done at the LLB level? Or is there a distinction between what is being done at the LLB level and the professional level? What creates the distinction? And this is what is important for all of us. And of course, you should know, which is the third, but the last point I have, just as a preliminary matter, is that the various faculties that have been set up, recognized by General Legal Council and GTEC, they are all in this field. Can we have some equality when it comes to content, methodology of teaching, and then the qualification of teachers? If not, we're still going to have a problem. Can we discipline that? And I'm sure that these reforms that we're going to have should have some kind of a window to deal with this equality, so that we don't have some tensions in terms of quality, which will impact upon the quality of the law and practice that we are all urging for. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Let me come to Dr. Kusiapia.
Thank you very much, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings from Professor Ernest Kofi Abochi. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here, so I had to take his place. From what has already been said and discussed, you can see that it's an issue to do with access. Everybody wants to have access to legal education, okay? And it's the access that has brought us here, because some time ago, if we do our analysis, it was a direct course. You finish your LLB, and then automatically you walk into the Ghana School of Law. That was what happened to us, to me, and those before me. So it was not a question of, do you qualify, do you have a first class, are you writing an entrance exam? And with the limitation of the access has brought about a lot of backlog. So people can't progress, they're just stuck, because there was no provision made for that in terms of what's professional. They can't, can they come back? So that is an issue. So the discussion so far we've had, they said, the panelists have said, all boils down to inclusivity, which I think we are doing now. That at every point in time, we should try as much as possible to include all the necessary stakeholders, the students, the academics, the regulators, and so forth, so that it's not safe. Someone sits somewhere, comes up with some sort of regulation and then implement it. So that is what we are doing, inclusivity. And just like Professor Atupare just indicated, competence is very important, because the reform intends to ensure that those we produce, the lawyers that come into being, they are competent. And how do we do that? I think we can all agree we are shifting away from the theory-based training. So we want more of practice. So for me, the reform should actually consider including a lot of what? Practice. It's not just continuation of theory. Okay? And of course, ethics is of great importance. We don't want competent lawyers who would end up also duping us, isn't it? We want to ensure that we are well equipped with ethics. So that should also be a major issue which should be considered during the reform. So I think for now I'll end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So you are the witness.
Of course. We are very much aware.
So I think we are moving backwards. We are not moving forward. I almost did not come for this event, but for my friends at Solidar. Okay. Myself, Francisca, Kopatupawi, all the deans in this country, we worked for 3.5 years to develop a reform agenda for legal education. Under that agenda, we have the reform of the laws, curriculum reform, academic quality assurance, recognition of law faculties, the bifurcation of the training into professional and theoretical, the development of law manuals on every major subject, legal subject in Ghana, conditions of service for law teachers, and the associations of the legal academy. We presented these reforms to the General Legal Council on the 24th of October 2025. They were accepted by the General Legal Council. They asked us to develop an implementation plan within 6 months. Today is 12.5 months after, and we don't have the implementation plan. Why? Because we developed all these reforms at our own cost. Ask them. We attended meetings and workshops without travel and per diem. Okay? The only thing we need now are the human resources and the financial resources to do the job. There are no issues left that haven't been discussed. All the issues you mentioned here before this session have been resolved. And there's a big fat document on each of them.